The idea that the universe is still so unexplained is an eerie thing to think about. Your existence, my existence, and everything's existence across our so-called universe has been up for discussion since the first drop of consciousness in the human mind. It is in fact human nature to be curious about your surroundings, but sometimes this curiosity can get a little bit overwhelming, especially when a lot of the questions bouncing around inside of your mind may never be answered. A lot of people can find comfort in this unknown and go about their daily lives. But what happens when you let your mind wander too far into the unknown? Well, today we're going to take a deep dive into the slow mental decline of a user on Reddit who came across a theory in which, upon learning about it, permanently changed their life and put them on a slow decline into a state of insanity. So buckle up as we jump into the world of user AFH43. Quantum immortality, a theory which suggests that your consciousness is essentially interdimensional. A very quick way of explaining it would be to say that if you were to die in a car crash, for example, then the universe or dimension would split into two. One where you died and one where you continued to live. But from your POV, it would be like nothing happened. You're not actually aware that this fatal accident has taken place. Everyone around you is identical and the universe is a carbon copy of the one you just left. Over on Reddit, a user who we will call Adam, for the sake of simplicity as their username starts with an A, would go about their daily life, interacting with subreddit communities as any normal person would. But somewhere along the line, they would come across the theory of quantum immortality. This thought experiment would instantly take hold of Adam's mind. It did more than just creep him out, it made him question his entire existence, and not in a curious way, but more of a panicked way. With Reddit being his trusty source of information, he would scramble over to Ask Science, Ask Physics, or Ask Philosophy, and multiple other pages dedicated to explaining theories like this in search of anyone that can disprove this thought experiment and put his mind at ease. Every post would be similar, and this is what it read. The possibility of quantum immortality is making my life unbearable. Is it a credible theory? It makes complete sense to me and I can't believe I'm the only one losing my mind over it. Upon seeing Adam's desperation for an answer, the Reddit users of the multiple communities would take to Adam's post in an attempt to debunk the theory, to prove that this is not reality and is in fact just a thought experiment. There were many credible answers written to Adam, disproving the existence of quantum immortality, but from the looks of Adam's replies to them, it's almost like his mind was already made up. To incredible explanations of the theory, Adam would reply, "I don't agree. I can't see it this way." To which other users would try and continue the argument, but with more of a matter-of-fact way of saying things, just to try and get through to him.
Because you read a Wikipedia article, you're only going to live once. It can be very difficult to exercise a bad idea that nevertheless appeals to you, but if you can't see it this way, then you don't understand it. Even if I am utterly wrong, if you cannot see the alternatives or process the counter-arguments as equal initial possibilities, then you have abandoned science for religion. Not just philosophy, but actual dogma. You cannot evaluate an alternative that you cannot first properly see.
It's evident that by the minute, Adam's mind was falling deeper and deeper into a state of decay. His presence on Reddit was certainly not helping. There were conflicts within his conflicts, users arguing with others about the existence of this theory which, again, wouldn't have helped Adam ease his mind. It probably just made it worse. Him seeing how this theory can literally break a subreddit and disturb its peace must have been very frightening, especially due to the mental state he was already in. He had evidently fallen even further down the rabbit hole, as he was now educated about the existence of multiverses too, which didn't help the disapproval of the theory at all, since the existence of a multiverse would mean that When the heat death of the universe occurs, the universe is reborn, and if it does that on an infinite scale, then I will be born again and again. With further learning about this theory came multiple changes to Adam's question. If the universe is infinitely large, then will there be a chance that in a multiverse I'll never die? Quantum immortality is making me lose my mind. Does the existence of multiverses mean that we will never die? Adam was slowly losing his mind. On every one of these questions he would post, he would be countered with valid arguments. However, he just wasn't buying any of it. Like I said, his mind was already made up. He would look past the logical point of view and the lack of evidence and start to accept that this is the reality he's living in, and he will continue to live on, experiencing pain for eternity. He moved away from the attempted disapproval of the theory to start seeking for mental help and advice on how to deal with this quantum immortality that he is supposedly going through. Existential crisis. It won't stop. I need help. I can't do it anymore. I fear that because I'm something in this infinite universe, I will always be alive. Quantum immortality. It makes so much sense to me and it's ruining my life. What do I do about it? I need to rest. It's here in this advice subreddit that we learn that Adam himself suffers from depersonalization and derealization. Whether or not these two disorders were picked up along the way, they are both symptoms of anxiety and depression. So it's evident that this theory has been a catalyst in these mental health disorders taking over his brain. He's too far gone, and no one can convince his brain otherwise. All the logical explanations would point to the theory being false, yet Adam is still on a mental decline and nothing can snap him out of it. What I'm about to show you is what is thought to be Adam's last ever post on Reddit. Quantum immortality. I'm unaliving myself soon. It's too much. I can't do it anymore. Thankfully, a couple years down the line, user AFH43 made a return to Reddit in 2019. The posts are now deleted and I had a lot of trouble trying to find them, but YouTuber Depth0 came to my rescue with his update. He managed to find Adam's now deleted update posts using a Reddit search tool. On the 13th of September 2019, Adam made a submission into the relationship advice subreddit. While recovering from a psychotic breakdown unalive attempt, I, 22 male, met the only girl, 22 female, I have ever fallen in love with. Due to my state, it didn't work out. I'm considering asking her out again. I am AFH43, a regular feature on those dark, creepy Reddit history threads. I'm still alive. It's been a long time since I have logged into this account. I thought it had been long forgotten by everyone. However, after logging in a few days ago, I saw that my inbox was full of hundreds of messages from people asking how I am or whether I am even alive. I also saw that my username had been mentioned in a lot of dark, creepy Reddit history Ask Reddit posts. These were extremely hard for me to read, because I try not to think about that time in my life. Obviously, Adam was still alive, which was met by a huge sigh of relief by the members of Reddit that had kept up with Adam's mental decline. Here's what the rest of the post read. Nearly 3 years ago, I woke up one morning and my mind simply broke. I believed that because of quantum immortality, I would never be able to die, and therefore would experience all of the greatest sufferings possible over and over again, for all eternity. I felt there was no escape. It was like a panic attack of the highest intensity that did not end for weeks. For the first time I understood what Emil Cioran meant when he said, "We dread the future only when we are not sure we can unalive ourselves when we want to." Surviving an unalive attempt only worsened my delusions. It was only once I started on antipsychotic medication during my stay in a psych ward that I began to put the pieces of my life back together and return to normality. It was during the process of getting back on my feet that I met a girl whom I completely fell for. We went on a few dates, we even kissed, but because of what I was going through, I was so nervous around her that it made things a bit awkward, and I was very much emotionally closed up. I think I just tried too hard to make something happen. I just wasn't ready. I was still recovering from a truly traumatic and horrific experience that had completely shattered my mind. I only really started to become myself, to come out of my shell, after we stopped seeing each other and I began my first relationship with another girl. My girlfriend was a pretty incredible person, and over the last year with her I learned to enjoy life, to become free and uninhibited by anxieties. I became open. I became comfortable with myself and who I was and with the constraints on my existence. I made peace with my experience, with my delusions. Today I'm happy and in control of my life, truly. That relationship ended a few months ago. I've been on dates with other people since then, but still, I feel like this person who I kissed all those years ago is the one. I never stopped thinking about her, even during my last relationship, especially when things went bad. I can't help but wonder if we had met now for the first time, what would have happened between us? Even though I haven't spoken to her in well over a year, I just still felt this overwhelming sense of unfulfilled possibilities with her. I wonder if I would still be nervous around her. I don't know. I feel so different now, but still, I don't have that answer. I was considering sending her a message on Facebook asking if she wanted to go out again sometime, just to see if anything has changed or if it could work. I'm not sure how to word it, or if I should even do it. I don't know what to tell her. After experiencing some personal family losses over the last year, I've realized that life is fleeting and I don't have much to lose. So how can I approach this in a way that is not totally cringeworthy? It's evident that Adam was trying to get his life back together again after all of this had gone down. But that fateful moment in time where he would become aware of the quantum immortality would prove to be more powerful in his mind than anything else. No matter what he did, it was always there in the back of his mind, haunting him, affecting who he was on the outside. It had changed his life forever. This submission into the relationship advice subreddit was deleted, and his account would again lay dormant until 2022, where he would make yet another update, and things were not looking any better. I'm still here. Unfortunately, I'm still here. For a few years now, my life has been pretty good, but at the moment I'm having an unrelated breakdown and I'm in hospital for other mental reasons. I wish I could unalive myself, but I'm still too scared. Maybe it's worth facing it though. I'll have to face death eventually. I'm stuck in hell, and my life is... I might turn to drugs to have some relief from this relentless pain. I just need to sleep and never wake up. Maybe that can be my reality. I just can't do this, I feel alone. I'm terrified and numb at the same time. The default state of my life is suffering. If anyone can help dissuade me from QI, please tell me. But please don't make it worse for me, I'm in agony. Nothingness is a beautiful thing. I just want out. I know it will transfer the pain to other people, and that makes me feel horrible. I wish I didn't have these beliefs. If I didn't, I wouldn't be here right now. Since my last post, I've been diagnosed with OCD, and that explains a lot. I've been given Seroquel today to help me start thinking rationally. This may sound stupid, but this situation has to do with heartbreak and very specific and absurd triggering factors related to it. Maybe that sounds stupid, but I found love. Real love. And now it might be over. Life is suffering. I'm suffering. I don't want to be here anymore. I wish this was physical pain instead. I really envy Emil Chiran. Unalive was a wonderful fantasy to him at times, because at any moment he knew he could escape, and that gave him immense comfort. My mind is broken, and I don't think I'll ever be able to fix it. It really is terrifying how strong the power of human thought is. Just one theory alone was enough to send a human spiraling down into a state of mental decay. Just the knowledge of this thought experiment existing was enough to make Adam fall into insanity and change his life forever. This would be the last time that AFH43 would post to Reddit up until this current moment. The mental state that they were in sounds absolutely horrifying. Hopefully they got the help that they need and are turning their life around. That's all for this video. Ciao.